Yeah, I think it's 4 done. So we can start, I guess, right?
Yes, yes.
So today is our first episode of Unfiltered Sparks, which we thought we will start for 7 series series sessions, and it's about honest conversations that ignite real change. And today we have a Jiinny John as a speaker. I know Jiinny from last six months, I suppose. Yeah, 6 months, right, Jiinny?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So she's been working with me along with my coaching sessions as well. And when I heard her background, and I was very inspired from her journey as well. So let me admit somebody who's already come. So Jiinny is a life coach and she's a POSH and POCSO trainer and she's a communication expert as well. And she's been conducting a lot of engaging and impactful sessions for a lot of people. And her mission is to empower people and workplaces to foster some safety and dignity and respect for all. And I know Jiinny to be a very wonderful communication expert as well because she's been conducting so many various sessions for people. So over to you, Jiinny, if you want to add something more about yourself, which we don't know yet.
Thank you so much, Smita. You already said a lot about me. I would really thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk about this topic, which is so sensitive, and we people really hesitate to talk about it. That is both POSH and POCSO. So I just would like to thank you and the HerKey platform to give me an opportunity to be here and talk about it.
So, Jiinny, I have few questions which comes to my mind. If you can first start elaborating by the word POSH and POCSO for people who don't understand the terminology. We'll start with that first.
Perfect. So POSH is nothing but prevention of sexual harassment at workplace against women. For women. Sorry. So this, when I say POSH for women, it does not mean that the law is for women, but the law should be known by each and every citizen of the country. Because be it your because the person who's victimized can be your sister, can be your mother, your friend, anybody. And even when we conduct awareness sessions and all, we'd love to have the other gender, that is the community, also to be a part of it, because they also need to know what is POSH all about. How you can help or guide a person who has been through that. And so with POCSO is nothing but protection of children from sexual offences. So these both laws are very much there in the society, but people still do not know the intricacies and how to go about it. If God forbid, if some incident happens, how you should go, how to take care, who's the right person to go and address it to, and who can help you and guide you in such kind of situations. So, yeah.
So I have a lot of questions for you. So let me go fire one by one, right?
I'd love to answer them.
Yeah. So what does safe workplace or safe childhood mean to you personally?
When you say safe workplace or safe childhood, it is nothing but a safe space where you can be yourself without any fear of judgment, or something. You feel that you will not be silenced when you speak for a justice, or something goes wrong with you. It is a space where you'll be given trust and your dignity will be maintained. If you come across an incident or something happens to you, and when you voice it out, you will be heard. That safe space will be provided to you. That is, by that you mean that safe workplace or a safe childhood.
Yeah, that's right. It's like a judgment-free space, right? That's what we all want.
Yes.
Yeah. And next one for you is that why do many survivors hesitate to speak up?
Where the hesitation comes from is nothing but the fear of being blamed, or the shame, or that they will not be believed if a person has gone through that and they speak up. It's always a society is conditioned such a manner that they will be like blamed. Something went wrong. It would the blame. You would have done something wrong that excited or instigated the person to do that. Same with the children also. They fear a lot if they first, so they don't know what has happened to them. And if they realize that something wrong has happened, and if they try to share it with somebody, people will try to silence them. Because fear of the society, being judged, all these factors play a big role. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely,
Why
because
survivors hesitate to come up and speak about it.
so
Yeah.
victim is shamed. Yeah, victim is more victimized, I suppose, right?
So right, yeah, got it.
Yeah. So some questions this is the generic questions which I thought I'll ask you, and there's something which is related to POSH, specific to POSH.
Right.
So, so for example, are most employees in an organization aware of this internal committee?
To an extent now, as because there's so many awareness sessions happening around, but still
Yeah.
we have a larger group of people who do not know that we have an IC committee. The government has strictly laid out a law that if a company has employees 10 or above, you need to
Mm.
constitute an IC committee, that is the internal committee for POSH, where if such an incident happens, the employee is supposed to go up to them, share this incident, talk or tell them about it, and this IC committee sits together and tries to find out a solution out of it. So
Mm.
it consists of a presiding officer, the internal members, and one external member from outside. Yeah,
Okay. So, and even an external member is required
it
there.
is compulsory to have an external member too.
Mm. So, all the organizations. Is there any? Is
It
it
is,
for?
it is
Is it applicable for all the organizations?
for
How
all
is
the
it?
organizations having an employee number of 10 or more than 10.
More than 10. Okay,
Yeah.
10 or more than 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's also important. Yeah. So, Jiinny, right now what happens is that we also have a virtual workspace.
Yeah.
So, a lot of meetings and there's Zoom events or video calls, a lot of things happen. So, are there specific guidelines, POSH guidelines for that as well?
Yes, we do have, because of late post COVID, we started to work in a space called virtual space.
Yeah,
So most of the sessions, trainings, meetings started happening on virtual space.
yeah.
So now the company has come up with policies which extend to that, which covers this area, to conduct to have a digital conduct, encouraging these video trainings and treating this platform like Zoom, WhatsApp, or everything which comes under the circumference of these POSH guidelines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting to know. So, what about WhatsApp and after office parties and all? How does this POSH
Everything.
guideline impact?
Yes, uh, it involves employees and it affects the professional environment. If it is like if you say if it is falling under POSH, it is like within the inside, whether it is inside the office or beyond. When I say beyond, the work can be not limited to the four walls of the office. It's like if you're going out for a meeting, in any outside the place, but the agreement that no the working agreement is there between both the employees who are engaged in that environment. So it is not restricted to within the four walls of the office. It goes if we are going out for a movie. Suppose, for an example, I'll like to share it here. Like, if your boss says go and watch a team building movie, the movies come up which talks about team building and all those things. If you go out and some incident happens in that like in that environment, no, or in a party or something which is related to the office. So all these things fall under the I should say the walls of POSH.
Mm.
Yeah.
And what does consent mean in a workplace?
Consent is nothing but clear, mutual, and it can be withdrawn at any time. It's not like if today I have consent, if tomorrow I'm not having consent, I can withdraw my consent. And here I would like to be very clear about it that silence is not consent. You should never take silence as yes. So in a workplace, consent holds a strong meaning. Be it anywhere, it's not even not limited to a workplace. Anywhere, you need to have a consent for anything. If person is silent, that does not mean the person says is yes or to whatever things you're saying to them, or doing to them.
So you mean anything said yes, explicitly yes is called is yes. Otherwise, anything which is quieter and where there's silence, it is no.
It is
You
no.
can't. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So probably a lot of learnings, a lot of insight. So I think I'll go. Should I ask the audience the questions first of the POSH first, if they have any questions, and then we can go to the POCSO.
Perfect.
So is there anybody in the audience who want to know more about POSH or have any questions for POSH? So we can put you on video and you can unmute yourself and ask. I think there are no questions as so far. So probably we'll go to the next section, which is the POCSO.
Yeah.
So POCSO is related to children, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
It is the protection of children against sexual offenses.
Yeah. So what signs indicate that a child might be facing these issues or an abuse, basically?
As I said, when such kind of incidents happen, there's lot of fear involved, and
Okay.
when you say what is indicate when how can you come to know that something has happened to
Yeah.
a child,
Of course. Yeah.
so there can be a certain behaviors which has never happened with the child, irrespective of the age, like bedwetting is one, then withdrawal symptoms, aggression, nightmares, anxiety. These are some of the signals, which you should not just overlook. If you find a child behaving in a different manner, not usual manner, you please go out, reach out to the child, have a one-on-one conversation with the child and understand what's going wrong with them, because most of the children do not know what is happening with them, and children who do know them, they who know what is happening, they are the fear of the society, and of the fear of being judged comes in between, and so they do not open up, and they live with that trauma throughout the year. Because I know certain cases where people now are like grown up, but still they have those nightmares. They have not shared those things till now because they felt it was their they were at wrong, so it is not, the child is never at wrong, so we as a society and as a community have to give that safe space to our children so that they have the courage to come and open up, and talk about if they have gone through those like incidents in their life, somewhere in their life.
So tell me one thing: are the staff people or the teachers equipped in schools to handle this such kind of disclosures? Are they aware of it?
uh, Not always, but somewhere some schools are really vigilant about it, and they are uh, doing these POCSO awareness sessions like every now and then, like frequently. It is said you should have at least two sessions, twice, these POCSO awareness sessions in schools, So, but of late we have recently there was a case which happened in Delhi, where a high-profile student was involved, and they just tried to brush it under the carpet. They did not bring it out again. Shame involved and everything. So yeah, but then schools should conduct and consider having these sensitization workshops every now and then, so that they are able to handle these children, these traumatized children in a better way, So if the child is provided with a platform where they can come and openly talk about it, it will do a lot, to the society, in at large. So yeah, because as of now, it's not being done on very regular basis.
Hello. I can't hear anything.
Yeah, even I can't hear anything. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but not
I think,
Jiinny.
yeah. So Jiinny, I think the connection is gone. I don't know. Let me check.
We'll wait for a minute. I think
Yeah,
Jiinny will join us back.
yeah. So
We'll
if
wait.
you have it, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
wait for a minute till the time she joins back. If you have
Yes.
any questions, just make a note of the questions you want to ask Jiinny. She's rejoining it. Yeah. So there are various career and freelance opportunities also for people who POCSO and the POSH training as well. So if you guys have those questions, people who are returning from their break after a long gap from the working career, they can also come back and do these courses and join back the workforce. So if you have questions similar to that, also you can ask Jiinny. I'm just waiting for her to join in so we can bombard her with questions. In the meantime, when she's before she joins, I think I had a question for the audience also, which I can ask now because till the time she's taking time to join. Huh? So, have you guys ever seen such inappropriate behavior and but weren't sure what to do about it? Has it been the case with you guys? Yeah, we see all those incidents, but we don't know how to go about it, how to report about it.
Sorry, I just joined a bit late, so I wanted to know what exactly the context of this session was. The
It's
initial part.
POSH. It is the POSH and POCSO, basically. So it's the prevention of sexual harassment, and the POCSO is for the protection of children from sexual offences. So that was the topic for today. And so we've covered what does that terminology mean, and also we've covered few questions related to POSH. And I was asking her some more questions about POCSO because related to children, basically what they can, how do we know this kid, how kids are facing this abuse? What can we do about it? Is there any awareness being created? Something. Those are the questions I was asking Jiinny. Jiinny has joined. Yeah.
I'm extremely sorry. There was a network issue here. I just got lost.
Yeah. No worries. So yeah. So I think
Did
you
we
will have
have
to
any?
get a co-host action. Yeah. So yeah, Jiinny, I was asking you right about whether the teachers and the teachers and the faculties or the staff, how do they get themselves updated? You said they're not much aware about it because and normally nowadays workshops are being held for them, right?
Yeah, yeah. So as I said, we need to have regular sensitization
Sessions.
workshops being
Yeah.
conducted at least twice in a year, and that should be made mandatory because it's not happening. To my awareness, it's not happening. So they just only bad touch, good touch. That's it. That's what's happening. Not beyond that. How
Hmm.
to, if such an incident happens, what are the measures? How you need to have a council, in the school itself, to where if a child comes across such kind of incident, where they should go, who's the right person to reach out to. All this awareness should be talked about in the school, so that the children do not live in fear. You need to create as as parents, as people who we know this law it exists, we should create a safe space for our children, so they don't live in fear throughout their lives, in suffering. Yeah.
So when these things happen in the family front, so is
Mm.
it okay to delay these action because it's a family thing? You don't want to inform the authorities because it's within the family or known people. So what do people do in that cases?
POCSO, by law, it is mandatory to report it as soon as you come to know. If you're a bystander also, if you come to know about a POCSO incident, it is you have to go and report it. Do not do that, you are under no, you are liable under the law, to be arrested. If you come to know about incident, it is your right, and your duty, that you go ahead and file that, that such and such an incident has happened, and the concerned people will come and take a call about it. So it is to be brought under the right people, the right authorities light. If such an incident happens, you cannot just keep it aside, or conciliation happening in this matter. Not at all. The government will not allow that. It's not at all allowed. Yeah.
So how do you create safe spaces in schools for children, basically, or otherwise as well?
It's
How
like,
do you educate them?
but as I said, conducting sensitization workshops in schools, creating normalization conversations, among children, creating that boundaries of respect, and then if there are some instances where children do not have the courage to come up and talk, don't create those box, where you can go and just drop a letter, and you can take up anonymous complaints also when you come to know, when once the procedure of investigation starts, and then the things open up, and you'll come to know.
I think we've lost Jiinny again. She needs to join back. Some network issue at her end. Let me see who all are there. So I see Geeta, Nandini, Krishna, Priya. So you have any questions, any of you? Anjali. So otherwise we'll wait till she joins if you don't have any questions here.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm sorry, there's so network issue at my end. I'm just, shit, it's not a good day, I think so, for me.
So no worries, no worries. So we've taken few questions on POSH and POCSO also. So tell me that whenever you want to do this training on POCSO or the POSH thing, do you have to have a law degree? What is the pre-requirement to do a course in that?
To be a lawyer, to have this training there's no liability or a requirement, mandatory requirement to have a law degree. They can, but they need to be certified as a POSH trainer or a POCSO trainer, to conduct these trainings. There are various institutions who are conducting these POSH and POCSO certifications on and off throughout the year. So you can just go enroll yourself, and it's like 3 days training or 8 days, or 3 days training. Most of them do or like 2 continuous days training. So you get to know the nuances about the law, how to hold it, how to conduct a training, how to constitute a committee, IC committee, and all those things that the detailed knowledge is shared from the learners, in this field.
So is there anything more you want to add for the POCSO thing? Any from your end that I might not have asked those questions, I might have left it out. Maybe is there anything else you want to educate others about POCSO?
So my only one message regarding POCSO would be there. If there are parents who are in this webinar, I would just request them to please go ahead and ask your wards or the school coordinators that do they conduct on regular basis POCSO or awareness sessions for the children or not. If no, why it's not happening, and then ask them to conduct it, because most of the instances happen, and the POCSO is a session which both the children, the parents, the teachers, and the non-teaching staff have to undergo, at least twice a year. If a new teacher or a new staff is taken in, be it the non-teaching staff or the teaching staff, or they need to undergo this training, this workshop, so they know that there is something called POCSO, and if any by chance any incident happens, then how it has to be taken forward. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So what about POSH also? So something which we as
Goes out
employees.
for POSH also. You need to conduct trainings twice in a year, because it is mandatory, made by the law, that you need to have these workshops done in your organization where you have an employee number of 10 or above. So you need to, it falls under the constitution of POSH law, and you have to do it. If that is below, if the employee number is below 10, then it goes to the local community, the panchayat where it is held.
And POCSO, is there an age limit? Like it's 18 years and below, or is it something like that?
POCSO's limit is 18 and below 18, and POSH is above 18. POSH is
So,
mainly for women, and POCSO is for children below the age of 18 years.
So when was this law which came into picture? It's a specific incident or specific year when it started as a law?
POSH came into picture during the Vishakha case which happened, and but the law was strictly made and it came out in force was 2013 December, post the Nirbhaya case.
Okay.
And POCSO came under force in November 14, 2012. Yeah.
So I think there's someone who wants to ask a question, Priscilla. So probably you can ask Priscilla whatever question you
Hi.
have. For
Yes. So I have a question to Jiinny. Yeah. So I have a question regarding POCSO. Like my child is going in play group. So he's in a very small group. So I wanted to check, do this teacher was going to conduct any POCSO sessions in the near future, or is this something very concerning which I need to check with the teacher?
Yeah, you should better, because it is, as I said, POCSO is a law for children below the age of 18. So you should go ahead and ask them, are they non-teaching staff, their teaching staff, are they trained, or have they undergone this POCSO training or not? It is a must, and every school should be having it, being conducted for the parents, for the children, and for the non-teaching staff and the teaching staff. It is mandatory.
Okay. And how it has been transferred to the children, like for the smaller groups, basically, I
For
want to check.
the smaller groups, they do this uh, uh, safe touch and unsafe touch. But it was known as bad touch, good touch. But there's, as we say, there's no touch like bad or good. There's a touch called safe and unsafe. The children should be made aware of what is a safe and what is unsafe touch, because this incident can happen anywhere. Not in school. It's not just closed in the walls of the school. It can happen anywhere, whether in the playground, at anybody's place, home, anywhere. They're subjected to this kind of harassment any place. So the parents should also be aware. How and when, if such an incident happens, who's the right person to approach and how it has to be taken forward. And the parents should have a one-on-one talk with their children, quite often. To have that kind of bonding where the child comes up and shares everything with you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, Jiinny, I had kept a question for audience, and it was for everybody for that. Have you ever been have seen anything inappropriate and but weren't sure whether to report it and know how to go about it. So we see instances as well. So what do you do in those cases? So I think if anybody in the audience has an answer, it's good. Or otherwise, I'll go to Jiinny again. We'll give it a minute if somebody comes back. I think, Jiinny, you will only have to answer it.
Can you repeat the question which you asked?
So I just asked that if we see something inappropriate, so what do you do? How do you report it? We are not sure now what's happening. So how to go about it?
As in when if this kind of a situation, if you are talking about POCSO or for POSH?
Anything which we see.
So as POSH, I said you have a proper committee that is called the internal committee in each organization. You need to go ahead and raise that complaint. There's a written complaint, has to be given to the IC committee, and then they take it forward from there, And when it comes to POCSO also now it has been made mandatory that the school should have a committee where no such cases are addressed, taken care of. So if the child comes across something like this, the child has to go and meet the committee, and they will take it forward from there. Yeah.
So, Jiinny, in your journey also that you were working for some time, you took a break and then you came back to work again. So you had done these trainings and all. So probably can you tell the audience who are watching this that what are the career opportunities available with POSH and POCSO? Is it a freelancing opportunity or a full time?
There are many opportunities right now in the market right now. One is the freelance opportunity. Then if you worked for some years, you can go ahead and work as an external member to an IC committee. Every committee has to have an external member, of the internal committee of an organization. And then you can go out as trainers, POSH consultants, for POCSO consultants or trainers. And then there are policy makers, which the HR people need to draft these policies for the companies, for POSH policies and all those. So for that, you can, as a certified POSH or a POCSO consultant, you can go ahead for drafting policies too for these companies. Yeah.
So are there any advisory roles for these, what you call startups and NGOs also? I mean, they also need it, right? Because every organization needs it.
Every NGO, school, every schools, they need a POCSO consultants or trainers, to address their concerns.
So there's a consulting role also available for this.
Yes, consulting role is very much there for POSH and POCSO both.
So people who are returnees from their break, what is your advice to them if they want to follow this POSH and POCSO?
This is a big opportunity for them to take their career further. It will be like another feather added to their cap if they have this training under their belt. So they can go out and especially if they are come from HR. It's not necessary that only HR people can get trained. It's anybody who has the knowledge of this thing. They can go ahead and get themselves trained, and then can go ahead and conduct workshops or trainings in NGOs, schools, or corporates, So there's a vast market for them to go and explore. Yeah.
So I think I'm done with my questions which I had for you. So I bombarded you with enough questions. Let's ask the audience if they have any. Let's see who all are there and if they have any.
I have one. So for the opportunities that I'm asking, is it going to be full time or like a part time role? Because I'm not sure how the work is going to be, and is it an everyday basis job?
No. This is not an everyday basis job because these incidents don't. I would not say that they happen every day, but then when it comes to POSH in corporates and all, you need to have this trainings conducted twice in a year, and this awareness sessions, as and when, the more you conduct, the more the better, because incidents are happening on everyday basis, but people does not come into the limelight. So it is our duty as POSH trainers or consultants or POCSO trainers and consultants to create that awareness in the society, so that people know that this kind of law exists. That if and when an incident arises, who's the right person to go and where this can be addressed. So it is you can do it as a full time, you can do trainings and on part-time basis also. When it comes to an external member, for an IST committee. As in when these committees are held, these external members are called to be a part of this investigation process. Yeah. I hope I have answered your query.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
thank you.
is there anyone else who want to ask any questions? Priya, Priscilla, Nandini, Geeta, Anjali, I can see them online. I think there are no more questions as such. So Jiinny is also a life coach, and she in her LinkedIn, I think profile, she has given a top met link as well. If anybody needs any help with the life coach or anything related to POSH and POCSO, can reach out to Jiinny as well. So Jiinny, is this something which I have missed asking you, and you want to create an awareness for anybody here?
No, I think we've covered almost the nuances, but yeah, so it's all what I would like to just plate here again is that the more we create awareness, it's not that people know, but they do not know how to go and talk about it. No, so if it would be better if we have more people in this field, more people to spread this awareness, because as a society, we need to create that safe space for children and for the working women. That safe space. To an extent it's still not there, so we as a community has to build up that safe space for our children and for the working women, so go and I would have loved to if there would have been other men also attending this, because when it comes to posh or poxo, it's not only the mother or the sister or the woman who should be aware of these laws, it's both, it's like inclusive, it goes out to everybody. So it is a law which everybody should be aware of, because even though, God forbid, we do not know when a situation can arise. And if we are like beforehand equipped with the law, we know what is it, then we can address it in the right way, and handle it in the right manner. Yeah, that's only a small thing which I would like to add. Yeah.
So Priscilla has asked your LinkedIn ID, so you can just look for Jiinny, JIINNY, Jiinny John. So you will get her name in the LinkedIn as well. And Jiinny, last question, another curious question from my end is how learning POSH and POCSO has changed your life when you came after the break to this workplace or your workforce? Yeah.
Uh, it it gave me a, like, another confidence, something we know which is happening in the society, and still you do not know as an individual what you
Hmm.
can add, what you can do better. So this knowledge which I gained from my mentors, Mrs. Deepa Rafiq, it was something which really gave me a strength, that knowing about it, you can add little from your side, and there's a lot more to do, and I would really love if women really go ahead and understand about this law which is there in the which is created by the parliament, no, for our own safety. It's better because we all somewhere in our lives have come across the situations where we have just silenced ourselves and not talked about it, no. And it is not the victim who has to be victimized. It is we have to have that voice and the strength to speak about it, and we should, as parents or individuals, we should know both POSH and POCSO. We should be aware of it, no, what does this whole law is all about, and how it can take care about for us, take care of us. Yeah.
So yeah, let's ask any more questions or any other information you want from us. We are here to hear, and for another 2-3 minutes, we can help you out with any questions or anything. So this was our first session in our Unfiltered Sparks series. So today's was on POSH and POCSO, because when I heard this terminology, I was very curious and I thought the expert should come in. So we also have sessions every Monday for next till July end, and so we'll look forward for you guys to come on the second session as well, which is not related to this topic, which will be a new topic. Uh, so can we have in-person sessions too? Jiinny, do you conduct in-person sessions? Uh, So I think we've lost Jiinny again. I think there's some network issue at her end. So Priscilla, I need to check whether we can do a in-person sessions. I don't know about it, whether she does it or not. I can check and get back to you on that.
Priscilla, is it possible for you to share your email ID so that Smita can contact you like that?
Sure. Where do I need to share?
Here in the chat. Like
In the
where
chat only, yeah, you can put your
Can we-
email ID in the chat, yeah.
So she can forward your email ID to Jiinny John.
And Priscilla, if you're there in HerKey also, you can follow Jiinny John also. She's also there.
Yes, I have
Yeah.
shared both your profiles and also the upcoming session link.
Yeah.
I'll forward this email ID to you, Smita.
Yeah, sure. Dipti, because we've nearly come to an end of the session, is it okay to
Yeah.
close the session?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody to be part of our Unfiltered Sparks series, and thank you for all the questions as well. Hope it helped to create some more knowledge about this particular topic, POSH and POCSO. Thanks everyone. Bye. Take care.
Thank
See you
you.
next Monday.
Thank you so much, Smita. Thank you everybody for joining in.